Greetings, Grand Canyon University. Dr. Martino, this is Mr. Viltz, Simeon Viltz. I am a graduate candidate. This is for the class 501, the SEC 501 class. Ultimately, I want to talk about dispositions as a teacher. And in a professional realm, I feel that there are various dispositions that we must have to be effective educators. I think for starters, for me to be successful as a teacher, I think that my disposition is to be very aware of current trends in our student body. And that's not to say that I want to be friends with the students or befriend them in that way, but more so, if I'm to be an effective educator and a mentor in a sense, I need to pay attention to the patterns and to what's triggering a lot of our youth. And I think I have that ability to do so in my previous work, especially within the realm of media literacy, and media arts. It's very, very important to be aware of what drives a student. What is their favorite song? What is the new album that's coming out that's going to shift the culture in one way or the other? Obviously, musically, in the, let's say, 80s, 90s, music was a lot different in content, whereas now things are a bit more it's just turned for a different way. I'm not here to judge it or anything like that, but you can just see the difference from that alone with how the youth are motivated and how they are inspired. So that's one of the major things, is to identify with what youth culture is currently. And then also, I'm very patient as an educator. I tend to listen. I'm not quick to judge. I try to meet students at face value and just kind of, understand the breadth of, of what they're dealing with at home and the community at large. So those are things that, as an educator, we should be sensitive of, and I plan to do so. And I think that will make me become successful. As far as my dispositions that I need to work on before I enter the classroom as my first year of teaching officially, I think that I need to definitely become a bit more organized and really immerse myself with the standards, so that I can know that, the standards are the blueprint and the guide on which we are allowed our freedoms to teach our skill sets. So to understand fully what those standards are and how they apply in the classroom, that will allow me to customize lessons and create an environment that can be very conducive to student learning, that will allow me to be creative, because I feel like to be an effective teacher, especially nowadays, you have to be creative, and that will allow me to integrate uses of technology in the classroom or in the media setting as a media arts instructor in a library, which is where I ultimately would like to be at the conclusion of this program, is in a high school library where I facilitate media, but on a different level, not just traditional checking out of books and so forth, but more so interactive podcasts and video, updated announcements and things that can enhance the school's culture and climate. So students see that on the TV and hopefully will be able to identify, and they will be able to shift some of that culture around. So those are some of the things I definitely want to prepare as I get more organized as an educator. And then finally, excuse me, a professional educator, I have on a tie and a shirt, and I did that just to kind of show the overall message here is, being an educator and being in that profession, we must hold ourselves to a different standard. If I come in with a t-shirt and jeans on, I can't expect that students will necessarily take me seriously, especially as an administrator or restorative coordinator of anything of that sort. I shouldn't look like somebody they could just see on the street any and everywhere. So we definitely try to have an appearance where we're groomed and dressed the part, and conduct ourselves accordingly. I don't need to be out here having all this foolishness going on in my personal life. So if I can have a higher standard for myself, I can expect that from my students. Thank you very much, Grand Canyon. This is Simeon Viltz.